Welcome to Make EdTech 100. I'm Lindy Hawk, educator, K-12 EdTech advisor, and your host. This is a podcast where we keep it real about what actually works in classrooms. No hype, no overwhelm, just practical strategies, honest stories, and tools that make a real difference for teachers and students. So come along with me on a journey to make EdTech 100. Today, I have a guest on the pod who I've known for years. I was trying to figure out how many years, and I think at least 15 years. Marne Bender is a fellow Montanan and teacher at East Helena School District in East Helena, Montana. Her current role is librarian. She is one of those educators who goes above and beyond for her students and is always willing to try new things. A great example of this is Marne started East Helena's Esports team and really led the charge on bringing esports to Montana as a state as well, which I'm excited to talk to her about today. Honestly, I selfishly wanted to get her on the pod because we never have time to catch up, and I love to hear about all the amazing things that she is doing. So welcome, Marne.
Oh, Lindy, that was so nice. Thank you. That was the nicest intro. I was just like, oh, I'm so excited to talk.
Well, you're the best. So don't you think? I think it's been about 15 years since we.
Yeah, no. So this is year 17 for me. Like when I'm done, it's 17 years teaching. So yeah, it's been from the beginning, which is awesome.
Yeah, I've been there. So, and just a little bit of context to how we met. I, at the time, was working for Southwest Montana School Services, which is the Southwest Montana Regional Service Center, as their technology integration specialist. And East Helena was one of our around like 80 schools that we supported in Southwest Montana. So what else do listeners need to know about you?
Oh, man, I like to fly by the seat of my pants, kind of with all things in life sometimes. I was just thinking about sometimes the best ideas in teaching and library and whatever just come up and you just got to do it, and try it. And I love to do that. If you want some personal things, I am an avid outdoors person. Oh, I love Montana. My kids and I recently, last year, we tried to do 50 hikes over the summer, like 50 different hikes. Yeah. And we had some like rules and things in order for it to qualify as a hike. I think we made it, if we count my son and my husband's hunting hikes, to like 42.
Wow.
Which it really isn't bad. We ended up getting
I'm impressed.
Yeah, we got a puppy this summer and she couldn't do like all the hikes because it was too hot and she's so little. So that made it a little tough, but we're looking forward to this summer by, developing some new outdoors goals and hiking goals. So that's something personal about me.
I love the Montana. People on the podcast are now used to listen to me talk about Montana and my love for the outdoors and being in the Montana mountains and on my husband and I bought a boat last summer, so that's been
what kind?
It's like a little what's it called? Good question. A bow rider.
Okay, so like motorboat type of thing?
It's a boat. Yeah, it's not a drift boat.
Okay. We have a drift boat.
You have a drift boat. Okay, yeah. So for people that aren't from Montana, Bozeman is like the fly fishing mecca of the world because we're literally like the Three Forks, because the Gallatin, the Jefferson, and the Madison River all come together. My husband and I grew up in eastern Montana versus you grew up in Deer Lodge, right?
Yeah, so western.
Yeah, so you're from western Montana. So you grew up with rivers and fly fishing and drift boats. We did not. And there's no rivers and there's hardly any water in Southeast Montana.
That's true.
We are one of the rare people that live in Bozeman that don't fly fish. And so I know, right?
What is that? No,
I know. And people are always like, what? I tried at one time. I took a whole class on it.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
I grew up doing it, so I totally get people who are brand new. I was catching fish by the time I was in first grade by myself.
Wow.
So my dad's a fly fishing and fly tying nut. So it's been a long time, and my husband's a guide, so we definitely.
So you're the drift boat family, yeah.
Yes.
You're the drift boat family. We got we do the Canyon Ferry, the Hauser.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love getting invited by my friends who have the big boats. We call them.
The big boats. Ours isn't very big still, but
it's still so
it's big enough. That you can fly around. We really enjoyed Hauser Dam, which those of you that aren't from Montana, right outside of Helena, where Marnie lives. So we spend a
Yep.
lot of time at Hauser and a little bit of time at Canyon Ferry, which is just the
Yeah.
other side of the dam
Yep.
of Hauser. So
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's a
kind of
fun
actually,
place.
we're almost like our geography is almost flipped a little bit because
Yeah.
Bozeman more has the rivers for the drifting
Yes.
and Helena has the dams and
Yep.
reservoirs for the motorboat.
Right.
We need to
There you
switch
go.
locations with our, or
We
maybe we
do.
just trade boats around.
Let's just trade boats sometime. Let's arrange that.
I love it.
I love it.
So, Barney, so we can get to know
Yes.
you a little bit more. Tell us,
Mhm.
what does Make EdTech 100 mean to you? How do you interpret that?
So, in my eyes, I think it means make EdTech 100% your own. And I know that can come off a little selfish sounding, but I think the world, especially with tech, there's a lot coming at you all at once. And I think, especially as teachers, we feel pressure to try all the things. Oh, here's the revolutionary new thing for your kids, or it's going to change your teaching. And sometimes it's too much. So I think people need to like take the time to think and make it work for them. What's achievable, what's realistic, what's going to work best for the students that I work with. I don't think teachers should try something because they're pressured. They should feel comfortable and supported. And so if I ever do a training, a tech training, I just encourage teachers to um, take whatever we're learning about in a way that works for them, even if it's a tidbit, like let's try just something. So make EdTech 100% work for you in a way that is doable and achievable, makes you feel good.
You do
Yeah.
you. That's one
Yeah.
of my mottos is like, you do
Yes.
you. And when it comes
Yes.
to using tech as a learning tool and teaching responsible and healthy use of technology, there are a few things that I'm a stickler about. People that know me and have attended my trainings, I'm like, no, this is a non-negotiable, like compliance, safety, FERPA,
Yes. Yes.
and certain like foundational knowledge so that we can keep kids,
100%.
teach
Yep.
them healthy use. But when it comes to figuring out like what tools you're going to use,
Yes.
right? Like, yeah, you do you. And there's all the time it happens where I'm like, well, this is my tool of choice, or this is how I like to use
Yes.
it. And I share it in
Yes.
that way. But then the teachers, you all have different students, different schools, different
Yes.
districts, different cultures.
Yes.
And you have to figure out how to take, and that's just the great thing about the art and the science of teaching.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
In some ways,
I
it
love
would be nice if it was a science and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is exactly how it goes, but it is not at all.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
love
science.
the new teachers that come in because I've been around for a while now, and they're like, "Oh, you could do this that way," and it's like, "Oh, yay, young new teachers
Yeah.
teaching me all the shortcuts." So I
love
love
it.
learning from other people too, and it's the best. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
definitely got to keep all those non-negotiables in mind. I like that you mentioned that because that's important.
I mentioned that you started your esports club
Yes.
team. Do you call it club?
Yeah.
Team?
So we're technically a club because if you're going to be a team, like a sport, you need to be MHSA sanctioned, and that's the Montana
Right.
High School Association, and we're not there yet.
Okay.
So we are technically a club, but we treat it like a team. So what's so cool about East Helena is we were one of the first high schools to be involved in the first Montana High School Esports League, and it has a really long name, the Montana High School Championship Series, and it's run by the University of Montana. They are the only university in the state with an esports team that does scholarships. I know there are other club teams at other universities. I'm not sure if any of them have gotten to the level that is at, but they actually, gosh, this is now years ago, which is crazy. They reached out probably 4 years ago to me, and there's a coach at Sydney, Russ, who's really awesome. He's been doing this a little longer than I have. There's just a few other schools reached out to, hey, let's do this Montana thing. Do you want to do this Montana thing? We're like, yeah, because when we started out 7 years ago, right before COVID, we tried to start, I should say. We started later 2020, technically. We started with national leagues, and those are fun, but you don't see who you're playing. There's no webcam, all you can do is chat with them, and there's no real connection. And so we did a few years of national leagues, and it was fun. But once there was an opportunity to do this Montana thing where we could like know and see the people who were playing it, against, it was just like, yes, we have to do this. And what's so funny, this is random. When we were playing in our national league, we actually we played Sydney once in our national league, which is so bizarre.
Oh,
Sydney, Montana,
okay.
for
Yeah.
people who are curious. And so that was like, whoa, there's other Montana teams. So yeah, we have this Montana league, and this is the 4th year, and there's probably around 20 schools, and there's
Okay.
4 different games: Super Smash Brothers, Rocket League, Overwatch, and Valorant. What's really awesome about East Helena is every year we've had 20 to 30 kids participate. We have varsity teams and JV teams if there's enough kids, and even like a practice team. Some of them are so popular. Yeah. And what's so cool, I got to brag on them because these kids are so amazing, is that in each of the 4 years that this league has been active, we've won a state title in one of the games
I didn't
every
know
year,
that. Really?
which is amazing. Yeah. And last year we placed in every single game, first, second, or third. Like we placed in every single one, which was amazing. So I got to brag on those kids because they're amazing. Yeah, it's something I never saw myself doing, which is kind of funny. Like, I'm not a gamer. A lot of people are like, oh, you have to be a gamer to do this. And I'm like, no.
No.
But I have my brother who really inspired me. He grew up kind of being the gamer, and he actually currently works as a creative director for 2K games. So like NBA 2K, gosh, I think one of his newest games was Civilization. Oh, if I got that wrong, I'm gonna be mad.
So he's actually
Anyway,
creating.
he does a little bit more of the media surrounding it
Okay.
and helps create and direct the trailers when they
Okay.
introduce new games. So he's
Wow.
yeah,
It's like a
isn't that
dream
cool?
job of like every guy I went to high school with, that's like their dream job.
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
there.
yeah. What's funny is he started out as an English teacher for a year or two, and he
Oh,
started a gaming discussion group. And when I was teaching middle school library, I was like, I want to do that. Not being a gamer, but I was like, I'm all about finding the things for the kids who don't have a thing, if that makes sense. Like, I tried to do athletics in high school, but I was not the greatest. I was a theater kid. That's where where I was able to shine. And so I want to find things for kids who don't have a thing. So I started a gaming discussion group, and it eventually turned into intramural esports, which eventually turned into playing against other teams and other schools. So that's how I kind of got into it. I didn't know much
okay.
about it. I kind of just jumped on it. It was kind of an evolution, If we could find a way for kids to shine and honestly work on really amazing skills that will help them as humans and in the workforce, communication, collaboration, perseverance. There's some heavy strategizing with
So much
esports.
strategizing.
Yeah, and the thing about
Critical
esports,
thinking
yes,
is the strategy,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. And what's so great is when our kids play, they are together in the same room. And a lot of gamers, when they play casually from home, they're on headphones and microphones and you can't see anyone. And that's where a lot of the toxic stuff happens, where gaming can get kind of the bad rap. And so with esports, we treat it like this is a sport, and we are going to maintain a positive, code of conduct, a positive environment. And playing in person, a lot of those kids, oh man, they learn some skills. I've had kids go from like throwing the remote tantrums, the controller, not remote, to being able to shake hands with someone at the end and like
Wow.
find a calming strategy. Because like those are people skills, those are life
Yeah.
skills. And so that's the magic of esports. I think about those kids and just how far they've come as people, but even as gamers too. It's just like, oh, I love it.
I love that you said find a place for the kids that
Yes.
don't have another place. That is important anywhere, but it's extra important in smaller Montana schools, which East
Yes.
Helena, and just so you guys know, so Helena is the capital of Montana. But
Yep.
how big is Helena? I don't even. I should have looked this
Oh
up.
gosh, if you
Not
count the
very.
valley, I want to say like 50, 60,000. Like if
Okay. That's what I
you
was
got
gonna
the
say.
whole valley, not city limits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would. Okay, so
Yeah.
so Wikipedia says 2020 census, 32,000 was Helena proper.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
but
Yeah.
East Helena is like just outside of Helena. So like how
Yeah.
many kids do you have? K-12.
Yeah. Our population's so weird. Like East Helena as a town is not very much, but like we have all the surrounding stuff, which is crazy. We're a Class A school. What's crazy
Oh,
is
right. You're
we
bigger
just
than I thought you were. I was just
yeah,
like
yeah.
class B.
We're the
Okay.
second biggest Class A high school.
Okay. Oh,
So we
and just
have
for
around
those of you that aren't from
yeah,
Montana, that's how you classify the size
yeah.
of a Montana school is their MHSA
Mhm.
designation of whether they're a double A, an A, a B, or a C. Double
Yep.
A are the largest schools, and there's only
Yep.
like 6 or 7 AA school.
Yeah, might even be 10 because
10, maybe
Bozeman and
10.
Kalispell. Yeah, but maybe 10, maybe.
10 AA schools in the whole state of Montana. 'Cause remember, we
Yeah.
only have 1 million people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then class A, and then class B, and then class C. That's what I grew up
Tiny.
in, is the
Yeah, yeah,
teeny little, and there's a
yeah.
pile of class C schools.
Tons.
So whenever you're discussing with someone, like, what is
Yeah.
the size of a school in Montana, it's designated
Class.
by their sports
Yes.
designation.
Yes.
So class A is big for Montana.
It's big for Montana. It's big for Montana. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
600-ish kids,
Okay.
I would say.
Which I know people that are from like Texas or California and a lot of other East Coast, anywhere from the East Coast are like 600
big.
kids. That's tiny. Because
That's like a
that's
quarter
small
of a class, right?
in most other states. But that's pretty big for Montana size. But I say that
It is.
to explain that, you grew up in Deer Lodge. Is Deer Lodge a class B?
Class B, so
Okay.
smaller.
A little
Class B.
smaller,
Yep.
but a little
Yep.
bigger than when I grew up in Eagle Acre. Was class C, very tiny, 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 tiny. And all that I had for options growing up were for sports. You had volleyball, basketball, track. That was it. We had a speech team.
Yeah.
And we had 2 CTSOs, so FCCLA and FFA.
Yep.
Band and choir. And fun fact, the only way that you could graduate high school at Carter County High School in Eagle Acre, Montana, was to take band or choir, because it was our only fine arts credit that we had. So everybody all had to either be in band for 2 years or choir for 2 years, or do band and choir for 1 year in order to get their fine arts credit. Because we had no art, we had no foreign language,
no art,
world language, no art, no. So I explain this to say that it can be really, really hard for kids in these smaller schools and smaller towns to find their place. So the fact that in a school size of only 600, you're able to offer that, and granted, they have a few more options than I did in Eagle Acre, and you did.
Definitely.
You talked about being a theater kid. Yeah, you didn't have theater. The choir. We would sometimes do like a musical as part of choir.
Yeah.
But like it was like once a year. We might, like that wasn't an option. You weren't a theater kid in Eagle Acre, Montana. Like, that's it. So point being, the fact that you're kind of have this little niche of esports kids to find is so huge. And that's what I hear from so many people and educators, parents that have kids that are involved in sports. It's exactly what you said. There's a lot of misconceptions around
so many
esports. I mentioned a few of them. That tend to push people away, and they don't like that, video games are killing our brain cells, and we can't purposely allow them to play video games. How would we do that? But no, the downsides are so small compared to all of the upsides.
And I always encourage my kids, like, you could play games constantly and get better and grind, they say. But I tell them, you have to have balance. You have to go touch grass sometimes. You have to move your body, because that's how you're going to keep your brain the sharpest. You have to do some different things. So we do encourage being balanced and doing different things, and not just sitting there playing the game all the time. That is a definite misconception for sure.
And it's so much more. When you mentioned your brother, he actually has, I love that connection, that he has a real world career in the gaming. What people don't realize about esports is it connects, and all the skills you need to create an esports team and compete, or even practice. There are so many skills and so many careers that are connected to esports, to the point that I don't think Montana is here yet, but like California, for example, a lot of the larger, I would say probably most of the states at this point, are actually starting to integrate esports into their curriculum.
I've seen that.
Particularly like career and tech ed curriculum as a way.
Cool.
So like, for example, if you've never watched an esports tournament or game competition of any kind, they have what are called shoutcasters.
Yes, we've had those. Yep.
You have okay, so the shoutcasters are kind of like what, like I just watched the Super Bowl last weekend.
Play-by-play.
Right? Yeah, they're the commentators. But they're called shoutcasters in esports.
Yes, I love them.
That is think about all the skills and all the careers that are attached to being a shoutcaster. And then there's the whole technical media side of streaming.
yes.
and
Yes.
connecting to that. It's crazy. So actually I
Mhm.
should get her on the podcast. You probably don't. Do you know Julie George? You might not know her. She's based out of California. She worked for
Yeah.
Fresno Public Schools, and she's like the esports person.
Oh,
She's
cool.
my esports guru expert. I should get her on because that's literally what
Yes.
she did at Fresno Unified Schools
That's
is
cool.
she incorporated esports into their career and tech ed programs. So
That's so cool.
it wasn't, they were still doing competitive, like
Yeah.
the kids wanted to be part of the competitive part of it, but they
Yeah.
were actually the media class
Oh, I'd love time for
preparing
that.
all the
Yeah.
streaming video for the esports
Yes.
team, and then the broadcasting class was doing the shoutcasting. And anyway, it's
Cool.
so cool
Oh,
and
man.
so endless. And that's what people that have this mindset of like, oh, why
Yes.
would you have them play video games? You're missing out
Yes.
on
Yes.
so much good.
100%. And like I said, I'm not a gamer, and I just see the magic. I see it. It's just so amazing. And I've learned so much about games too. But man, these kids are incredible, and just the way they've grown. And another random career path I saw, which I thought was so interesting, was, oh my goodness, for kids to be like drone pilots, because their
Yes.
reaction time and hand coordination, like hand-eye coordination, is so strong that they're really good at that stuff. And I was like, oh,
Well,
wow.
guess what? Guess what's going on right now? The Winter Olympics, as we see,
Yes.
is
And I've
going
been seeing the
on.
drones.
The drones.
Hearing
I
them.
just saw a TikTok video this morning
Yeah.
about the drone operators
Yeah.
at the Olympics,
Yeah.
and it's a legit skill because they move. Think about it was the drone operators that are following the skiers and the
See, that's terrifying to me.
that are
'Cause they're
going
like,
like 90
"Woo!"
miles an hour.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
guy was talking about all the skills he has to have. And there's also a
Yeah.
safety aspect there. There's also an
Yeah.
aspect of
Yeah.
making sure that the drones don't get in the way of the
Yeah.
competitors in the competition. And
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that's
that
right
one I
there.
thought was like really cool. It's like, oh man, I have kids who I think would be so good at that actually.
You know,
Just yeah.
we've known each other 15 years since kind of the beginnings of my career, where I really
Yeah.
like niche down into EdTech in
Yeah.
particular. And I've been saying this for 15 years. People have been saying this for 15 years. And every year it becomes more and more true that we're preparing kids for jobs that don't exist yet. Right.
Yes.
That's a perfect
Right.
example. 15 years ago, would you and I have talked about esports or drone operator
No.
or
No.
no.
Oh,
Drones,
no.
15 years ago, drones were like some far off
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, like that's so funny to think about. 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a perfect example, and an example of how like the skills that you build in esports lead to. Well, it's the same with regular sports, physical
Mhm.
sports. All the skills that are involved, you learn teamwork, you learn class.
Yes.
No, it's no different for esports. It's just
Yeah.
less physical, and there's a
That's
lot
what I
of
tell
people
people.
in the world that need
Yep.
less physical opportunities to learn those skills and still be in a competitive environment.
Yep. Totally different type of physical output, I tell people, because some of the, like I said, the hand-eye coordination reaction time thing that things that some of these kids can do, it's just like, whoa. Like it's a physical skill. You might not think of it that way. It 100% is. It's crazy. Yeah, we have some really talented kids. It's fun to watch them.
That. And I love that you're not a gamer. You just jumped in and just because that's another misconception that in order to start esports at your school or be an esports coach or whatever, like you have to be a hardcore gamer yourself. And that's not the case at all.
No, not at all. And I've been so fortunate that we have 3 assistant coaches now that are the gamers, and they specialize in a lot of the games. So I consider myself like the HR manager a little bit. With the feelings, and if there's a conflict or let's figure this out. I do help with one of the games a little more regularly, but now that I have all these amazing people on our team, they're really able to kind of fine tune some of the actual gaming skills, I guess. So yeah, we're really, really fortunate here. So
switching gears a bit, I want to hear about your work in the library at East Helena, or just in general. What are you doing in East Helena now?
Man. Oh, the library world is so fun. Like, it's very much the many hats job. And my position is so unique because I am half-time at the high school. So I'm at the high school in the morning, And then in the afternoon, I go to our pre-K and kindergarten building.
That's how that worked. You said you
Yeah.
were pre-K, kindergarten, and high school, and I was like,
High
wait.
school. Yeah.
I'm like that. So okay, so you do like half
Yeah.
of it each.
Yeah. And it's the best thing ever. At the high school, I'll just focus on what we've been doing recently. In the high school, there's been a lot of like research skills, citations work, and some presentation skills. We're also really pushing and helping develop the love of reading, which I think is making a little bit of a comeback. I know kids have kind of been like, ugh, but now it's like starting to get a little cool again. Yes. And it's amazing. Gosh, EdTech is like in all of that too. We've been talking a lot with the research, kind of the AI stuff that pops up and how AI can be a part of it, but still have them produce, work that's their own and is meaningful. With books, I just love all the options that are available now. Like you just audiobook, ebook, bam. Like 15 years ago, it was like, here's my CD, here's my book I'm listening to. If I wanted an audiobook. That's been a lot of the high school. The kindergarten, we're just having a blast right now. Oh my gosh. Obviously, we're reading a lot of books, but I, about halfway through the year, start doing makerspace days. And right now we're working with the Sphero Indies and doing the little coding robots. And oh my gosh, I just had a class do it for the first time today. And it's just the best. It's so magical because they're playing, but they don't realize like the high level thinking they're doing with these little coding robots. I love Indies. I love Sphero. So we're starting some makerspace units, which I was determined to figure out how to get into kindergarten. Because I'd done so much of it in middle school and I just loved 3D printers, doing all the really cool projects. And so we're dipping our toes into it with some robots, some 3D pens, some different things. We're busy in the library in East Helena Schools, but we're having so much fun. You just gotta have fun.
So would you consider your library to also be a makerspace? Like, do you have a makerspace in your libraries? You have two libraries.
Yeah. So I don't have like a set space. And I would say for the kindergarten, it starts pretty guided. It wouldn't be that true makerspace, to start. But once we learn about the tool, get some kind of basic skills to go with the tool, then they get some challenges and kind of get to go for it. But my makerspace is in bins. Yeah. There's not a designated space. I got bins, lots of bins.
But you do a lot of maker learning.
Yes, and I love that stuff. Oh, because once again, so many skills that go with that, not just the creativity stuff, obviously, but the communication, the collaboration, and like kindergartners, they're just learning that. So it's really good to get them, I think, as much of that as they can to just really build that stuff up. Plus, it's so fun. I'm all about having fun.
I think a misconception of people that aren't in more modern, I call it modern K-12 education.
Yeah.
Don't think people realize how much libraries have evolved.
Oh man.
From I even think the library, I don't even know if you could call it a library in Galacca. Sorry if anybody from Galacca that were my teachers are listening to this, but man, was it sad. I think we had half of, we didn't even have like a designated space. I think there was like half a room that had some bookshelves, and that was the quote unquote library. No, that is not the case. Like teacher librarians, I always tease, but it's true. You guys are my best friends as a tech integrator. That's probably how that we started meshing together. Like, I don't think you weren't in the library at that
No, I was in fourth grade. Yeah, I switched to library. Quite a few.
But still, like, you guys are my best friends because you're the glue that, when done right, makes everything work. Like you're saying, you're working with the high schoolers on research and talking about now how the AI impact. I just did a session on this at TCA conference last week. The AI impact of research and doing the maker learning stuff that you don't always have the time, or the content area teachers, don't always have the time, space, whatever skills to be able to do that. You guys just bring all of that digital literacy, digital citizenship aspect together, and the library is so much more than the quiet space that you go to check out a book or like read. Now
it's changed. It's changed. It's awesome. It's changed and it's awesome. Like I love the library. Yeah.
I'm secretly jealous. Like I secretly want to be a teacher. Seriously, like a
Oh,
teacher
yeah.
librarian, or like larger districts will have
Yeah.
they'll call themselves like media specialists now. So
Oh, yes.
like
Yes.
sometimes
That would be
it's a
amazing.
teacher
Yes.
librarian, sometimes it's more of a media specialist,
Yep.
sometimes the two are like super mixed
Yeah.
together. But yeah, I've been in so many schools where the
Mhm.
makerspace for the school is in the
Oh,
library.
yes.
I went in one
Yes.
school in oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think it was in like Vancouver, Washington area.
Yeah.
I got to go and they got this grant and they got a 3D
Oh,
printer and a bunch of stuff.
yes.
So I got to go share it all
Yeah.
with them. And it was the librarian that led it. And the
Yeah.
equipment was going to be in the library. And I had some students in the training as well, learning how to use it.
Yeah.
And they were teasing, but not teasing, that
Yeah.
they called it the Loudbrary. That was the name.
Oh,
Because it's now
yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just like you and you even see it
Yes.
like the
Yes.
stereotypes in the media of like
Yes.
shh, we're in the library, be quiet,
Be
right?
quiet. Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
like modern school libraries, and honestly even
Yes.
public libraries are
Oh,
now
they've gotten
starting to get
amazing.
maker
Oh,
spaces.
yes.
And I saw one the other day, somebody was telling me that there is
Yeah.
a podcast, they can rent a podcast studio from their public library.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I know Missoula has a big designated one. Like when
Really?
they redid their library a few years ago, and I got to kind of go through it, but they have an actual room and there's printers and just there's all
Wow.
sorts of things. Yeah,
Like
and it's just
yeah,
so cool.
like
So cool.
makerspace-y. On that
Yes.
note of makerspace, you mentioned that you're starting some 3D printing classes. So
Yes.
tell
Oh
me
my
more about
gosh.
that.
Yes. So I've been doing some after school classes because I miss it. Yeah, I had the budget to buy one. So I have one in the library, in the little pre-K kindergarten library. I have a 3D printer here and I've just been itching to teach it again, teach, the 3D design, how the printers work, how they can help solve problems. And so I have a couple sessions. I have first, second, and third graders in a group, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth graders. And this is where I could talk about a major teaching fail because I still have them. Yay. Man, my first
Y'all,
grader.
if you don't have teaching fails, are you
Yes,
ever really
I don't. Right.
really
Um,
not a teacher?
gosh, my first, second, and third grade group, we use Tinkercad, that online platform for 3D design, and
Hmm?
it's so slick. It's so great. I didn't realize my first graders had never used a Chromebook.
Oh, so they had to learn how to use the
Learn how to
mouse.
use a Chromebook and a mouse, and
Yeah.
we started with the touchpads, and I quickly got some mice, like some external
Yep.
mice, because I was like, oh.
It's
So
hard to do Tinkercad on a trackpad.
it is, and I've done it on an app, like the app before. I don't like it as much on the app because the kids are familiar with their iPads. There's some school iPads they can use. But yeah, so I had to teach Chromebook and then teach Tinkercad. And it's like sometimes I get a little cocky, like, oh, I've got this. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait, I don't.
Nope. I had to
That's
back
okay.
way up. Scaffold
We're gonna
in.
figure it out. But
Yeah.
oh
I
man.
love that story though. That is such a
Yeah.
perfect story of what I share when I'm working with educators about
Mhm.
technology is
Yes.
sometimes there are skills that you need to back up and scaffold and teach
Yes.
before you can even
Yes.
get to it. But it's honestly no different than if you're using manipulative block,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
same thing. You still got to teach, like, how do we handle them? How do we put them away? We do
Yep.
this, we do this. It's the same
Oh, man.
thing. It's just with
Yes.
technology versus something
Yes.
physical like
Yeah.
blocks.
And I've learned so much in kindergarten too on the things that I need to teach in order for the skill building to happen. Because this is only my third year, and I swear I'm learning new things every single day still. So
I
yeah.
love that you're sharing the things, like you're doing Tinkercad design with
Yes, I love
kindergarten and first
Tinkercad.
graders. You're
Yep.
doing 3D printing with kindergarten and first graders.
Yes.
One of the things I hear all the time, and I'm like, no, is,
Yeah.
oh, well, I'm a primary teacher. That doesn't apply for me. Or I could never do
No.
that with
Oh,
kindergarten.
you
No,
can, and it's
yes, you
so
can.
fun. You
You gave the
totally
perfect
can.
example of how you might have to back up
Yep.
and you might have to scaffold
Yep.
and
Yep.
teach some, basic skills.
Yeah.
Like this is how we use a mouse or a trackpad or
Yes.
something
Yep.
like that. But you sometimes have to take it a lot slower than you would with
Yep.
older kids, but you
Oh,
can
definitely.
and they want to.
They do.
You
That's
know?
the fun part. They're like, when they do their first print, our first print is a really simple keychain with their name on
Their
it. So
name.
they
I knew
have
it. I
to,
like with their name. Yep. I used to do
you
similar
know the,
thing. Yep.
okay, yeah, you
You
know the
change with their
project. It's like,
name. Yeah.
yep, yep. And when they get that printed and their eyes like, oh, I made this? Like, what? Is so cool to see it come to life, because you can, make things on a computer and that's fun and that's great, but to have the thing in your hand that you made on the computer, like, that's sweet, that's real life.
Yeah.
It's
They
just,
get to
oh,
take it
it's magic.
home and they're so excited.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my
it makes it
gosh.
all worth it too. I'll tell you my
Yes.
teacher fail when it comes to 3D printing with
Yes.
the younger kids. This was like K-5 elementary.
Hmm.
So same idea. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
let's put their initials on a monogram, make like a monogram ring so they can actually wear
Oh,
the ring. It was a
yes.
brilliant idea. It was not a brilliant idea for the first Tinkercad.
I can see that.
What?
Ooh.
Yes, yeah, I know. Now looking back, I'm like, duh, Lindy. But this was when I was newer to 3D printing too.
Yes.
I was newer to Tinkercad.
Yep.
So I ended up backing up, and exactly what you said, we ended
Yeah.
up moving to their name. We did some different things like keychains
Yeah.
and nameplates and that kind of thing. Because,
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
if you're not familiar with like Tinkercad and 3D modeling and 3D
Yeah.
printing, the reason the ring was a terrible idea for a first project, it needed to be like a fifth project, not a first project.
Yes, that's a tough one.
For one, like to put the letters on the ring, you have to learn how to wrap the letters, right? Because it's not
Yes.
circular, it's not flat. So that's the
Yes.
whole thing. Then
Yes.
I thought it was all great, like, oh, they'll be able to wear a ring. Well,
Yeah.
lucky, they all have a different ring size.
Ring size.
So then we had to like figure out their ring size and then translate that into
Oh,
millimeters in
yes.
Tinkercad to figure out the
Yes.
sizes. And
That's painful. Oof.
painful, very huge fail.
Oh, I've been there, man. I've been there.
But hey, guess what I did? That I learned that was way
Yes.
too complex
Oh my gosh.
for an intro 3D printing project for
Yes.
honestly anybody. Even that would have been,
Yeah.
I think,
That's
well,
hard.
high schoolers would have been the
Yeah.
ones that would have figured it out.
Yep. Yep.
But it's
the
still
younger kids.
not younger
That's
kids.
hard.
No, it was
Yeah.
way too hard. So but what I learned from that, and I
You're
backed up,
ambitious. That's
and I
great. You gotta
moved
try.
to flat. Like we don't do anything circular to start. We do flat,
Yeah. No curved surface.
no curved surface.
Yeah.
Do flat stuff, and
Yes.
that's a great way to get that intro. And yeah. Anyway,
Oh, that's amazing.
love it. Okay, well, Marnie, I can't believe it. We're already bumping up on time. I could talk to you for hours
know.
more about
I
Montana
can't wait to see
and
you.
your library.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes.
So guess what?
NCCE. I'm so excited.
We are. So last year, I ran into Marnie
Yes.
at NCCE conference, which those of you that aren't familiar, I think it stands for the Northwest Council for Computers in Education.
Your education. Yep. Yep.
And
yep.
it used to rotate between Portland and Seattle. Now they've kind of moved it to Seattle. So it's every February in Seattle. And I tease, but it's true that it's my local conference, quote unquote, because I do so many different conferences. It's the most local one that I go to. Although I'm doing USET this year, which is in Salt Lake City. So that technically is closer. I can drive there.
Regional.
Versus,
Yeah.
So, but up until this year of going to USET for the first time, NCCE has always been my local conference, even though Seattle
I love it.
is
I love
still
NCCE.
a very long ways away. But
Yeah.
welcome to the Mountain West, where everything is
Yes.
spread out, and there's not very many of us, and we just don't have. In Montana, we used to have several EdTech events, and they've all fizzled.
Yeah,
died.
that's a bummer.
I know, it's a huge bummer.
Yeah.
So literally, like NCCE is
NCCE, yeah.
our like local conference, and I ran into Marnie at NCCE last year, and I was like, we need to share the awesome things that Montana's doing, that you're doing. I want to share, especially like what you're doing with esports and how you're making esports work in a local area. So I'm so proud of us. We put it together and we submitted, and we have a panel on Friday morning of the conference, and we're going to be talking all things esports, specifically rural esports, and how do you make it work when you have, a small school, 600. But Sydney's about the same.
Yeah. So Sydney is Class A.
They are.
Our biggest school's in Missoula Sentinel, and our smallest school just joined this year. It's Valier.
Oh, Valier's tiny.
Yeah, so we do have,
Yeah.
we have mostly A and B, I believe, A and B
Okay. But
schools.
still, so even
Yeah,
the small little in Montana
yeah,
Class C schools, you can
yes,
do it. You can make esports work.
yep,
So
yep,
that's what we're going to talk about. So we've got Marnie on the
yes,
panel. I'm going to be leading. We've got a couple other awesome esports people there to
yes,
share, and
yes. I'm so excited.
it'll be great.
Yeah,
And we'll get to see
yeah.
each other as well.
I know. I'm so excited. We got to go out to eat or something. We got to do something, right?
Yeah,
I know you're gonna be busy though. I know you're busy because you're doing all the presentations.
all the things,
So
all the things, all the time, all the things.
yes,
But
yes, yes,
so tell us last two questions for you. How
yes.
can listeners connect with you?
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm not cool and I don't have my own website. Should I do that? Like start my own website?
I mean, I think you should have a website for all the cool things you're doing in the library.
Maybe I should.
But or
Um,
blog, just a blog.
yeah, yeah. Email is probably best. I can send you my email to
Okay.
maybe put in the description or whatever you do.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes.
And my school email is on our East Helena Schools website. That's ehpsmt.gov. Ooh. And I have a LinkedIn, but I like look at it once a month. Should I like get into that? I'm
Should
overwhelmed by all the things.
all the
So
things. LinkedIn is very important. I should do a podcast episode just on the
really,
importance of LinkedIn
okay, I'll
and
maybe prioritize it.
teaching high school kids how to use LinkedIn.
Oh,
Like
that's a good point.
the job, sorry, I'm getting on a tangent here.
No,
This is what I do,
do it.
but it's
Do it.
important. The job market
Yeah.
of today that our kids will be participating in is LinkedIn.
So they need them. I gotta just do it.
Yep. And yeah, anyway, I could really go off on a tangent, but it's important. So of all
I bet,
social
I bet.
media, I tell people, I'm like, if you don't want to touch another social media, I 100% get it. You don't have
Yeah.
to do Facebook. You don't
Yeah.
have to do Instagram. You don't have to do TikTok. But
Do
if you're a
LinkedIn.
professional,
Yeah.
you need to be doing LinkedIn and you need to be sharing on LinkedIn.
Wow. I gotta do it then. I gotta commit.
Okay. All right. We'll
thank
put that in the show notes. And then final question, most important
Yes.
question. We end every episode with a Make EdTech 100 moment. What would
Yes.
be your Make EdTech 100 moment to leave listeners with?
Oh man. I think I would tell people, don't be afraid to take a breath, try something new, and just have fun. Like, darn it. Right? Even if it fails, like we talked about the fails. Oh my gosh, like this failure is what you learn from. And
First attempt in learning.
yeah, exactly. And I think kids are getting better at kind of learning that and seeing that, but we can't forget to like continue modeling that. That is so important, and to try things. The world is kind of stressful. There's a lot of outside things that like our body isn't designed to handle. So take a breath, try something new, take a break when you need it, and gosh, just have fun. Just have fun. I have so much fun when I teach. That's the thing. Just have so much fun. Yeah.
That's great. Love that message to leave listeners with. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Marnie. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see you soon.
I know. So, like less than 2 weeks. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Lindy.
Thanks for joining Make EdTech 100. I know educator time is valuable, and I'm honored you choose to spend yours with me. For more EdTech strategies you can use tomorrow and ways to bring me to your school or event, head to lindyhawk.com. If this episode resonated, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'm Lindy Hawk. Go forth and make EdTech 100.